Fast, focused, and fearless. Here's everything you need to know this rush hour of August 7, Wednesday. I'm Riza Diaz. Kickstarting today's rush with several areas in Mimaropa declaring class suspensions due to the bad weather. Classes in all levels are suspended in some parts of Occidental Mindoro. These include the towns of Magsaysay, Sablayan, and San Jose. But in Abra de Ilog and Santa Cruz, Occidental Mindoro, only classes in preschool are suspended. Meanwhile, there are no classes in all levels in Romblon and San Agustin and Romblon again. Severe tropical storm Hana has maintained its strength overnight as it moves west-northwestward in the Philippine area of responsibility. And because of this, tropical cyclone wind signal number 1 is now up in Batanes and in the Babuyan group of islands. Intermittent rains and winds of up to 60 kilometers per hour may be expected within the 36 hours in these areas. But it's not just Hana that's affecting the country as of the moment. Pag-asa is also monitoring a low-pressure area at the coast of Pangasinan and another tropical storm outside the Philippine area of responsibility. Now, to give us updates on these weather disturbances, we have with us on the line Pag-asa weather forecaster Benny Estareja. Benny, good morning.
Good morning, Riza, and to all our viewers.
Benny, do we have an update on the location so far of Hana and the track that it's taking?
Yes, as of 4 in the morning, severe tropical storm Hana was estimated at 610 kilometers east of Basco, Batanes. It has maximum sustained winds of up to 110 kilometers per hour and gustiness of up to 135 kilometers per hour. Based on the latest track of Hana, it will not make a landfall on any part of our country, and it's directed towards the northern tip of Taiwan. We have tropical cyclone wind signal number 1 raised over Batanes and Babuyan group of islands, which means that they may experience up to 60 kilometers per hour of wind gusts, and at times heavy rains, and sea travel over the area is automatically suspended.
Benny, because of this, the Habagat is also affected, right?
Yes, we also have Habagat being influenced by Hana, and for the next 24 hours, moderate to heavy monsoon rains will be experienced over northern portions of Palawan, Mindoro provinces, Romblon, Zambales, Bataan, Aklan, and Antique. And over here in Metro Manila, as well as the rest of Luzon, Western Visayas, and Central Visayas, we will also experience cloudy skies with scattered rains and thunderstorms because of Habagat.
Benny, we also, of course, have learned that there's another weather disturbance near Pangasinan. Tell us more about it.
Yes, the weather disturbance is a low-pressure area over here at the West Philippine Sea, and the latest location at 4 a.m. is 270 kilometers west of Dagupan City. And based on our analysis, it has a very slim chance of becoming a tropical depression, and in fact, it could dissipate within the next 48 hours.
Do we have also an update on perhaps when will Hana exit the Philippine area of responsibility?
Based on our forecast track, Hana may exit our PAR at around Friday morning or afternoon.
So with that being said, looking forward today until Friday, it will still be a rainy weather for all of us.
Yes, based on our forecast, we will experience monsoon rains still up until Friday, and over the weekend, parts of Luzon, specifically the western part, will still experience Habagat.
Benny, just to clarify, Tropical Storm Crosa is, of course, different from Hana.
Yes, Tropical Storm Crosa. Crosa is an international name. It's different from Hana, which is Lekima, and Crosa is right behind Hana. It's outside our PAR, and it's estimated at 2,130 kilometers away from extreme northern Luzon, and based on its movement, it has less chance of entering our PAR.
But Benny, is Crosa also pulling the Habagat?
Crosa has a very minimal effect over the enhancement of Habagat since it's very far away from our landmass. It's mostly because of Hana, the Habagat.
All right, thank you. That was Pag-asa weather forecaster Benny Estareja. Today marks the second round of the dry run for the provincial bus ban. That's despite a court order halting the implementation, but the MMDA says they haven't received a copy yet. We have Hannibal Telete live in Quezon City. Hannibal, kamusta lagay ng daloy ng trapiko dyan?
Riza, naka-deploy na ngayon ang mga traffic enforcers dito sa may bahagi ng EDSA, particular dito sa may bahagi ng Cubao. Ito kasi nga ngayong araw ang simula na kanilang dry run ng pagbabawal ng mga provincial buses dito sa may EDSA. Yan ay kahit naglabas ng preliminary injunction ng Quezon City Regional Trial Court Branch 223 na pagpapatigil sa pagban ng provincial buses sa EDSA. Ito ay mula alas 4 ng madaling araw hanggang alas 10 ng gabi. Ayon sa MMDA, voluntaryo lamang ito at walang pilitan. Wala naman daw magiging parusa sa mga hindi susunod. Gusto lang nila makita kung ano ang magiging implikasyon ng panukala. Aminado naman sila na magiging hilaw ito at magkakaroon ng kalituhan sa mga commuters. Lalo na ngayon, malalaman kung sino-sino mga bus operators ang susunod sa dry run. Ayon sa MMDA, may mga provincial bus na bumabiyahe pa rin sa EDSA ngayon. Riza, ang tanging magagawa lamang ngayon ng MMDA ay kukunin ang resulta at pag-uusapan ng mga executive ng MMDA kung itutuloy pa itong traffic scheme. Ang ilang mga commuters naman ay nalito pa at hindi alam ang ipapatupad na bagong estima ng MMDA dito sa may bahagi ng EDSA. Riza?
Maraming salamat. That was Hannibal Telete reporting live from Quezon City. The reason for Philippines and China being so-called BFFs, well, President Duterte says you can blame the United States. That friendship will also be put to test after Malacanang announced that President Duterte will be invoking the Hague ruling when he visits China this month. Greg Gregorio has the story.
If there's anyone responsible for the supposed alliance between China and the Philippines, President Duterte says it's the United States. Duterte says it started when Washington stopped its sale of rifles to Manila. In 2016, the U.S. State Department withdrew the sale of some 26,000 assault rifles to the Philippine National Police after concerns of human rights violations surfaced in the Philippines.
You practically drove me into the waiting arms of the Chinese government. You're the ones responsible. You took congressmen that took the floor in the U.S. Congress to denounce me as a violator of human rights and everything.
After the arms deal with the U.S. fell apart, Duterte said he had no choice but to look for other sources of firearms.
What am I supposed to do? Then I went to Russia. Again, I talked to President Putin and he said, no problem. Bigyan kita ng armas. Bigyan kita ng truck.
In the same speech, Duterte reiterated once again that the military aid provided by both China and Russia has no strings attached.
To this day, I'd like to say this to the Americans. To this day, na hindi sila naghingi ng bayad ng utang na loob. Ni toothpick, wala. Wala talaga. Magdududa sila, sabi ko, it's about military alliances. I never entered into any agreement with China.
As for the much criticized warmer ties with China, Malacanang says the time has come for President Duterte to invoke the Hague ruling against the Asian powerhouse. Palace says the chief executive will do this in a one-on-one dialogue with Chinese President Xi Jinping in August when Duterte visits China for the 5th time.
He said, remember that I said before that there will be a time when I will invoke that arbitral ruling. This is the time. That's why I'm going there.
Palace says the move to raise the country's win in the UN-backed arbitral tribunal is prompted by the president's desire to settle differences with Beijing before his term ends.
Kasi malapit na matapos ang term niya. Di ba? Yung sinabi niya, before the end of my term. He's also interested in that 60-40 joint exploration on minerals, oil. pag-uusapan nila.
However, aside from considering the joint exploration plan, Duterte also agreed to end the implementation of a 7-year-old policy of the Philippine government not to stamp Philippine visas on Chinese passports with the 9-dash line. The policy was implemented as protest to China's continued claim on disputed territories. For News 5, Greg Gregorio, we are One News.
Here are the biggest stories from the dailies. The Health Department has declared a national dengue epidemic on Tuesday following a full meeting with the NDRRMC in Quezon City. This comes after nearly 150,000 dengue cases were recorded from January to July 20. That's 98% higher compared to the same period last year. And Filipino Star Ngayon reports that as of this year, the DOH has monitored a total of 622 dengue-related deaths. The Supreme Court imposed a massive fine against the MWSS and private water concessionaires Maynilad and Manila Water for violating the Clean Water Act. Philippine Star reports that each of the three parties have been ordered to pay over 900 million pesos. The water regulator and two concessionaires were supposed to provide wastewater treatment facilities and connect sewage lines in all establishments to an available sewage system within 5 years after the law's effectivity in 2004. Now, apart from this, they're also fined over 300,000 pesos per day, subject to a 10% increase every 2 years until full compliance of the law. And good news for households. You're likely to see lower electric bills for the fourth straight month this August. Business World reports that power rates are expected to go down by 4 centavos per kilowatt hour due to lower generation charges. This means those using 200 kilowatt hours could see as much as an 80 peso drop in their bill, while those consuming at least 500 kilowatt hours could see at least 200 peso decrease in theirs. Our country's national esports team, Sibol, is set to debut in the upcoming Southeast Asian Games, and Carlo Pamintuan will tell us more.
For the first time in history, esports will be a medaled event in the 30th Southeast Asian Games. And to give the Philippines the best shot at winning as many golds as possible, Sibol, the national esports team, was founded. Born out of the Philippine Olympic Committee, tasking the Philippine Southeast Asian Games Esports Union, Sibol will be competing in the 6 titles featured, including Dota 2, StarCraft 2, Hearthstone, Arena of Valor, Mobile Legends, and Tekken 7. And thus, the Philippine Southeast Asian Games Esports Union has partnered with Razer, a popular name in the international esports scene.
So since then, we have been helping fiscal, as well as Philippines and all other important countries to really kickstart the most important of the infrastructures like federations, the NSA for the esports. So at the same time, we're also helping them from both financially and of course Razer gears to support to get them ready for qualifiers.
Several outstanding Filipino esports athletes will be directly invited into the team's training pool, and they will be joined by individuals who will be victorious in the upcoming open qualifiers open to any Filipino aged 13 years and above. The qualifiers for Dota 2, Hearthstone, and StarCraft 2 will be on August 10 and 11, while Mobile Legends will happen on August 14 to 16. Arena of Valor and Tekken 7 qualifiers will be held on August 17 and 18.
Maybe other people from other bigger countries are probably expecting, this small little country called the Philippines to fail. But this esports, we know what we're doing. We will not let our countrymen down, sir.
The pool of around 74 players will be trimmed down to just 27 members, 7 each for Dota 2, Mobile Legends, and Arena of Valor, and 2 each for StarCraft 2, Hearthstone, and Tekken 7.
We actually are asking for the help of private companies to reach out to us, Signal and TV5, if they do want to help Sibol.
Carlo Pamintuan for One Sports, we are One News.
And that's how the day is shaping up to be. Join us again next time for another round of Rush. I'm Riza Diaz. We are One News.